Saints Row, the third is an action-adventure game played from the third-person perspective, in an open world, such that players explore an unrestricted environment. Similar to the premise of the previous Saints Row games, the player's goal is to lead the 3rd Street Saints gang to overtake its rival gangs in the city turf war. While the protagonist is the same, the game introduces a new setting, the city of Steelport, with its own 3 gangs, the Morningstar, Lucadors, and Deckers, together known as the Syndicate. To further complicate matters, the government's Special Tactical Anti-Gang Unit, STAG, is summoned to quell both organizations. The third is the first in the series to intertwine the narratives of its 3 gang structures, and also presents the player with story-altering decisions. These are minimum PC spec you need. And these are needed specifications. And the size of the game is around 7.2 GB unextracted. And around 10 GB extracted. Make sure that you have subscribed the channel and like the video and leave next video topic in the comments section. And here the second game is Mafia 2. Mafia 2 is the third-person shooter sequel to Mafia. The game was developed by 2K Czech, previously known as Illusion Softworks, and published by 2K Games. Development was announced on August 21, 2007 at the Leipzig Games Convention. The game is set in 1940s to 1950s Empire Bay, a fictional city based on New York City, and is available for PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Minimum requirement to play Mafia 2. And the size of this game is 8 GB unextracted and 10 GB extracted. The game experience of Mafia 2 involves realistic controls featuring a standard action and violent action button, as well as context-sensitive situations. There are over 50 highly detailed vehicles, including sports cars, city buses, tractor-trailers, station wagons, and more. The game also introduces new weapons and includes a few from the original game. And the third game of the list is Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 is an open-world first-person shooter that was developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft. Despite this, the game is not a direct sequel to it or the original Far Cry. Far Cry 3 is set on a tropical Asian-Pacific archipelago called the Rook Islands. The game's protagonist is a young American man named Jason Brody who is trying to save his imprisoned friends and escape the hostile islands after a vacation gone wrong. He gets involved with the Rakyat, the native people of the island, and in return for their assistance, sets out to help them reclaim the island from Boz Montenegro's pirate and Hoytvolker's privateer invaders. And the requirements to play Far Cry 3. And the size of Far Cry 3 unextracted is 11.7 GB and extracted is 15 GB. The game also features a competitive multiplayer mode, a map designer for multiplayer, and for the first time in a Far Cry game, a 2 to 4 player cooperative campaign. The map editor in Far Cry 3 is far more advanced than those of previous games, allowing players to place down AI and wildlife of any type. However, AI, weapons and vehicles can only be used for personal use. And the map of this game is too big to explore. And the fourth game of the list is Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2 is an action-packed adventure game with one of the largest game maps ever. All gameplay is in an open world/sandbox, and even most missions can be done in various creative ways. It could be bought in an original or limited edition which came with Rico's signature gun, Bullseye assault rifle, Chevalier Classic, Agency hovercraft, Chaos parachute, and a double-sided Phenon Intel map and poster. All these items, other than the map, can be obtained as downloadable content. There is also a free demonstration version of the game available for download. This is the sequel to Just Cause, released in 2006. Rico Rodriguez, the protagonist of Just Cause 1, is back, but now on the island of Pano in the Malay archipelago. Rico
Rico, working for the agency, has to infiltrate various factions and cause chaos around Pinot to unseat the dictator Pandak Baby Panay. And the requirements to play this game is: the size of this game is 3.19 gigabytes unextracted and 10 gigabytes extracted. The last, but not least game of the list is Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is an open-world third-person action game developed by United Front Games and published by Square Enix. It was released on August 14, 2012 in North America, August 16 in Australia, August 17 in Europe. Both the Spanish and Italian versions were released on August 31 instead, September 27, 2012 for Japan and nearby countries. The game was released for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. And the requirements to play Sleeping Dog is: and the size of the game is 12.4 gigabytes unextracted and 15 gigabytes extracted. And that's it for all today, later homie.